You ever get mace in your eyes? That shit hurts. Take a look.
The story begins with a young woman named Jennifer, a novelist who decides to move away from the city to a quiet, rural area so she can focus on finishing her new book. Her first stop is a small local store where she meets a man named Earl, the owner of the cabin she's going to stay in. Earl gives her the cabin keys and explains the way there. On her way, Jennifer stops at a gas station to refuel. There, she notices two men, Andy and Stanley, staring at her in an unsettling way. Soon after, a worker named Johnny appears and helps her with the fuel. During their brief conversation, Jennifer mentions that she's staying in a nearby cabin. She hands Johnny some money, but accidentally kicks a bucket, spilling water on his pants. Johnny's friends burst into laughter, and feeling embarrassed, Jennifer quickly apologizes, pays him, and drives away. When she finally reaches the cabin, it's a small, isolated place deep in the woods. That night, Jennifer begins writing her novel. While talking to her friend on the phone, she notices something strange. The door of another room inside the cabin is slightly open. Curious, she checks it out and finds several tools and a box containing poisonous powder. Feeling uneasy, she shuts the door and goes back to her desk. Later, while writing, Jennifer accidentally spills beer on herself. She goes inside to wash up, unaware that someone is secretly watching her from the window. The next morning, while out for a jog, Jennifer discovers an old abandoned house in the middle of the forest. She steps inside but finds it completely empty. Disturbed, she hurries back to her cabin. When she tries to wash her hands, she realizes there's no running water, so she calls for help. A man named Matthew arrives to fix the problem.
Yes.
Once he repairs the pipes, Jennifer cheerfully thanks him and gives him a friendly kiss on the cheek. Being a shy and simple-minded person, Matthew gets flustered and rushes away. That evening, Matthew goes fishing with Stanley, Andy, and Johnny. He proudly tells them that Jennifer kissed him on the cheek.
Oh, she did, Johnny. She kissed me.
Johnny gets irritated and refuses to believe it. Then Stanley shows a video clip of Jennifer that he secretly recorded, revealing that he was the one spying on her from the window. Seeing this, Johnny's intentions turn dark. He starts saying vile things about Jennifer and boasts that he'll hunt her that night. Later that night, while Jennifer is asleep, she hears strange noises outside. When she opens the door, she finds a dead bird on her doorstep. Terrified, she runs inside, only to find her laptop filled with photos of those same men.
Nice shot, huh?
Just then, all three of them burst into the room and surround her. Jennifer, trying to stay calm, asks them why they're there and lies that her boyfriend is on his way. Johnny laughs and says he knows she doesn't have one. He even mocks her for kissing Matthew. He then calls Matthew over, forcing him to come inside. Jennifer explains that she only kissed him to say thank you, but Johnny continues to taunt her, claiming he knows what city girls really want.
What's a pretty little thing like you doing out here all alone?
I'm a writer.
Oh, she's a writer.
He hands Jennifer a bottle of alcohol, saying they'll leave if she drinks it. Though hesitant, Jennifer reluctantly takes a few sips, hoping they'll go.
There it is. All right.
But they don't. Johnny begins harassing her further, making her uncomfortable and frightened.
There it is. Oh, man, yeah. You know why I know you ain't got no boyfriend? You know why?
He then takes out a gun, forcing her to act as though he's her boyfriend and kiss it. Terrified, Jennifer obeys while the others laugh. Matthew looks away, disturbed by what's happening. Things escalate when Andy tries to take advantage of her, but Jennifer fights back. She pushes him away, grabs a pepper spray from her bag, sprays it into Stanley's eyes, and runs into the forest. By dawn, she runs into Earl and another man, who introduces himself as the sheriff. Jennifer desperately tells them everything that happened. The sheriff assures her not to worry and tells Earl to search the other side of the forest while he takes Jennifer back to her cabin. Once there, he looks around but finds no one, only a beer bottle. The sheriff dismisses Jennifer's story, accusing her of being drunk and imagining things. Jennifer insists she's telling the truth and that those men tried to assault her. Instead of believing her, the sheriff pretends to search her for evidence but starts touching her inappropriately, making it clear he's not there to help. Suddenly, the four men appear, grinning at Jennifer. She realizes the horrifying truth. The sheriff is working with them. The sheriff begins threatening her, saying something terrible is about to happen.
Keep going.
Keep running, show horse!
Johnny grabs Jennifer while the others cheer him on. He orders Matthew to remove his clothes and says, "Today, I'll make you a man." Reluctantly, Matthew follows his orders as the others force Jennifer down. In a state of fear and pain, she's helpless as they begin to harm her. She screams in agony, but no one helps. During this nightmare, the sheriff's young daughter Angel calls him, asking her father to come home early. He calmly promises he will, as if nothing had happened. After that, they all leave Jennifer there, broken and bruised. Struggling to move, Jennifer somehow gets up and tries to escape without any clothes. But before she can get far, all 5 men find her again and surround her. They pour water on her face to wake her up, and once again, the sheriff removes his clothes and starts forcing himself on her. Jennifer screams in pain, but one after another, each man violates her until they finally leave her unconscious. Barely alive, Jennifer drags herself toward a nearby bridge. Just when she's about to reach it, the men reappear, planning to finish her off. With the last of her strength, Jennifer jumps into the river below. They wait for hours, expecting her body to float up, but she never does. Worried she might still be alive, the sheriff warns them to stay alert. If she escapes, they could all be exposed. To cover their tracks, they burn all her belongings, destroying every trace of her stay. Later that night, the sheriff returns home. His daughter excitedly tells him she's been selected for the honors program, and he pretends to be proud and caring. The next day, the sheriff visits Earl and returns the cabin keys. When Earl asks if the girl has left, the sheriff lies and says yes, she's gone. But in reality, the men are still secretly searching the woods, unable to find Jennifer. Among them, Matthew is overwhelmed with guilt, haunted by what they did to her. One day, Earl receives a call from Jennifer's sister, who's worried that Jennifer hasn't returned home yet. Earl informs the sheriff about it. The sheriff quickly denies everything, saying, "No, nothing happened. She just left." The next morning, Stanley rushes to Andy and Johnny in a panic. His camera, the one holding the videos of Jennifer, has gone missing. When Johnny hears that the footage was on the camera, he lashes out at Stanley, furious that anyone would record those moments in the first place. Tempers flare and accusations fly. That night, something strange happens at Johnny's house. He hears a noise at the door and finds a dead bird waiting on the step. At first, he thinks Andy and Stanley are playing a cruel joke, but the sound returns. This time, he finds one of Jennifer's slippers. Fear settles in. Moving toward the bushes, he discovers a rubber band in Matthew's hand and begins to suspect that Matthew might be behind these ominous signs. The next day, the sheriff returns home to find a gift his wife says was left for him. Inside is a cassette tape. When he sees what's on the tape, his expression goes cold. Furious and terrified, he confronts the men, beating Stanley and demanding to know why the video was recorded. Johnny, shaken, says he too was disturbed the previous night and suggests Matthew is trying to scare them out of guilt over Jennifer's death. The sheriff orders the men to find Matthew and bring him in. Matthew, crushed by remorse, sits outside Jennifer's old cabin. Then he hears her voice and goes inside. There, sitting calmly on a sofa, Jennifer tells him she knows he is consumed by guilt. Matthew stammers an apology, insisting he never set out to harm her. But Jennifer is not looking for words. She acts. And Matthew loses consciousness. Andy and Stanley continue searching. Andy wanders into a deserted house and sees a lone mattress. Suddenly, Jennifer appears before Stanley. When Stanley lunges toward her, his foot snaps a trap and he cries out. Andy rushes over and Jennifer strikes from behind, subduing them both and rendering Stanley unconscious. When Andy regains awareness, he finds himself bound in a bathtub, held down by a crude restraining stick. Jennifer turns on the water and begins to fill the tub. Nearby, Stanley is tied to a tree while Jennifer records him, forcing him to endure a humiliating ordeal.
You know, you gotta eat a lot of nasty shit out here to stay alive. You hungry? You hungry?
She secures him so he cannot close his eyes and watch what unfolds. Jennifer moves back to Andy. He pleads for mercy and apologizes, begging forgiveness. Jennifer reminds him that she once begged them in the same way. And they ignored her pleas and took advantage of her. Cold and determined, She forces Andy's face beneath the water and promises him a terrible fate. Then, in a grim sequence of retribution, she contaminates Stanley and Andy with lethal measures.
Too soon. Any way to talk to a lady?
Both suffer violent, fatal consequences and die from the injuries inflicted. After that, Jennifer returns to the petrol station. She ambushes Johnny, takes him captive, and when he wakes, he finds himself stripped and bound.
It's date night.
Jennifer stands over him and asks if he understands what will come next. She removes his teeth one by one, inflicting slow, painful punishment. Johnny screams and curses her, but she is resolute, telling him that his once proud bravado will be taken from him. And then she kills him by carrying out a final, brutal act. While the sheriff is at work, his wife calls to say Angel's teacher has arrived. Angel tells her father how kind the teacher is and how she will take the little girl to the playground. Unbeknownst to the sheriff, the teacher is Jennifer in disguise. When the sheriff hears Jennifer's name over the phone, panic flashes across his face. He begs her not to hurt his daughter. Jennifer ends the call and, posing as the teacher, takes Angel with her.
Cassidy, where is she?
She went to Hanson Park with Miss Hills. She wanted to get to know her students in the program before.
The sheriff races to the playground but cannot find his daughter. As he prepares to leave, Jennifer attacks him from behind and drags him away. When the sheriff regains consciousness, he finds himself bound and humiliated. Jennifer has used a shotgun to inflict a painful punishment. He writhes and pleads for his life. Jennifer tells him she suffered the same brutal treatment at the hands of men like him. She intends to punish him in the same measure. She rigs the shotgun so that when Matthew, lying unconscious nearby, stirs, both the sheriff and Matthew will be caught in the device. When Matthew wakes, the sheriff tells him not to move. Matthew trembles, flinches, and the weapon discharges. The bullet strikes both men. Both fall dead instantly. In the aftermath, Jennifer sits nearby, exhausted and changed. She has set out to punish the men who brutalized her, and the beasts who tormented her now lie dead. There is a hollow satisfaction in what she has achieved, but also a deep, haunting loneliness. Jennifer remains, bearing the cost of her revenge. With that, the story ends here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more interesting recaps.